Low Reynolds number flows are reversible when the direction of motion of the boundaries which gave rise to the flow is reversed. This may lead to some surprising situations which might almost make one believe that the fluid has a memory of its own. Here are two concentric cylinders. The fluid can be moved by turning the inner cylinder with this handle. The annulus between them is filled with glycerine. Into this space I introduce some dye, which stays put owing to the high viscosity of the glycerine. Note its position before I start turning it. I now turn it 4 times, pushing the handle clockwise. The dye seems to mix as a drop of milk mixes when it is stirred into a cup of tea. Now I reverse the direction. And after turning exactly 4 turns, the dyed area reappears in its original position, with a little fuzziness due to molecular diffusion. To see what happens, we have a second apparatus that is filled with syrup. It has a wider gap, and we can look down on it. A little coloured syrup is injected to mark the fluid. When the cylinder is turned, this fluid is stretched round the annulus. Now the inner cylinder is turned back exactly to its starting position. During the forward motion, the boundary of the fluid follows a path determined at each instant by the motion of the wall. At these very low Reynolds numbers, particles within the fluid move when the boundary moves, and they stop when it stops. During the reversed motion, the boundary of the fluid retraces exactly the path it followed during its forward motion, and the particles return to their original position. The motion of a rigid body is also reversible. Here is one with a gap to mark its orientation. This is set initially in the 12 o'clock position. The motion carries the body round and also makes it rotate. On reversing, the rigid body returns to its original position and orientation. If, however, a flexible body, like this bit of yarn, is inserted, the reversal of stress will alter the shape of the body so that it will not return to its original position.